Hello and welcome to my 78th water review for YouTube. Today is Friday, August 2nd, 2019. Happy August, everyone. The last month of summer holidays for us students, and I will be back to school next month. However, the water reviews will not stop. Don't you worry. This week, I will be doing a review of a requested water I've gotten in person, not on YouTube, but a few people who watch my water reviews that I know personally have requested this water. And this water is a French water. We're staying on the west coast of Europe. This water is called Badoit. And Badoit comes from Saint-Galmier in southeastern France near Lyon. And it was first discovered, the spring in Saint-Galmier, by the physician to King Louis XVI. His name was Richard Marin de la Prade. And he discovered the therapeutic properties of this spring that would become Badoit Spring. And all of the ways it helped your digestion and lifted your spirits. It had a lot of so-called therapeutic properties, and it was actually recognized by the Faculty of Medicine in France. So quite interesting. I don't actually know if it has any therapeutic properties, but it's water, so it does have some effects on your physical well-being. But since then, a local silk trader named Auguste Badoit in 1837 would commercialize the spring and name the company after himself. And when he died in 1858, he would leave behind one of the largest commercialized spring water companies in the world. So really incredible job that Auguste Badoit did. Since then, in 1971, it was purchased by Evian Group, which is a part of the French conglomerate Danone. Badoit's website is very beautiful and had a really nice amount of information about the history, and they had an interactive timeline about different aspects of their history. It was a bit finicky, their interactive timeline, but it had a good amount of information and very nice pictures as well, which was great. They also had some very beautiful product pages. It was all in English, which was excellent, made it easy for me to do my research. And they had a bit of information about how Badoit has made its way into high-end restaurants as chef's water of choice, even for cooking as well as being served to customers. So very interesting in that regard. But overall, there really wasn't a whole lot of information about the source of the water itself. They did mention that it was chosen because of its therapeutic properties, but they didn't really talk about the region of Saint-Galmier. As well, they didn't talk about the topography and the rocks and stuff like that. I guess because it is more of a high-end water, people aren't really thinking about that, and maybe the people buying this aren't really typically very interested in that. But it would have been nice to see them mention the makeup of the area to get an idea of where the minerals are coming from. However, the website itself was quite good. It would have been nice to see an actual direct link to CSR initiatives. Group Danone does have CSR initiatives on their website, and I'll have that link down below. The usual environmental friendliness, they're actually looking to be carbon neutral by 2050, which is excellent to see, but I will have that all linked below, as well as Badoit's website if you'd like to check it out. In terms of bottle design and materials, this is really one of the most stunning and beautifully designed bottles I've had the privilege of reviewing on this channel. It's made out of this beautiful, it's actually a clear glass, but a really nice high quality glass, as well as a really nice metal cap. The metal cap isn't as reinforced as I would have liked, so it is a bit prone to deforming if you squeeze on it, but as long as you're delicate with it, it should be okay. And the cap itself is actually really nicely designed in this beautiful dark green metallic color with Badoit printed on the top in this really nice high-end modern script. On the label itself, this label is the green part. The glass itself is actually clear, and it does have this kind of champagne bottle shape to it, which is very nice. The label itself is one of the best I've ever seen. It's form-fitting to the bottle, and it's in this beautiful, again, royal dark green color, and it's completely secured to the bottle, so there's no chances of it ripping or tearing or wrinkling, and it's made out of plastic, which is another bonus. And they have, if you can see, kind of almost jacquard print on here where it says France all the way around in the background in this kind of darker green color. And then on the front, they have Badoit written vertically here, which is kind of interesting. They have the year 1778 when the spring was recognized for its therapeutic properties. And then at the bottom front here, they mention Saint-Galmier, France, in this beautiful cursive script to match the background France color scheme they've gone with and design. So really nice fonts they've gone with. They've gone with a modern font for the logo, as well as a nice cursive high-end font for the naming here, and then on the background pattern. And then on the back, I'm very happy to say they included both a mineral table and a nutrition facts table. Despite this being a really high-end water, they are proud of their mineral content, which is excellent to see. Really happy to see that they put both a mineral table, more importantly, as well as a nutrition facts table, and a little bit more information about the source as well on the back. But now we will move on to the tasting and nosing portion of this water. And in terms of mineral breakdown, it's the typical mineral breakdown you expect with these mineral waters. ppm is kind of moderate, around 400 to 500 ppm, and it includes some sodium, actually a good amount of sodium, about 60 milligrams in this entire bottle, as well as some magnesium, some calcium, potassium, sulfate, chloride, all the usual suspects you find in terms of minerals for these mineral waters. So we will move on to taste and nose. So on the nose, it's very neutral. I'm getting a little bit of a sweetness, a little bit of that carbonating agent smell, but it's very minute, very, very muted smells. Really nice, clean, neutral smell. Now, in terms of taste, carbonation is soft. It might be because it's been sitting around for a long time, I'm not sure, or because it's been transported long distances, but overall you would have expected a lot of the carbonation to stay in because of the materials they're using for the bottle, so I'm going to assume it's pretty close to what it would typically be. It is on the lighter side in terms of carbonation, but it does have a very nice smooth mouthfeel and a nice kind of, it is a bit soft, I think, from the sodium in the water, but it does have a really nice smooth mouthfeel overall. So excellent in those characteristics. And then in terms of taste, you get a really overarching sweet note to it with a nice salty ending to it, but really not a whole lot of citrus, like sour bitter notes. I would have liked to see a bit more of that. The dominant note definitely is the sweetness with a little saltiness in the background, and you get a bit of a chalky dryness on the mouth and a slight bitterness, but really overall it is mostly sweet and a bit of salty. So really nice. There's not a whole lot to complain about. It doesn't have any off-putting tastes, but I would have liked to see a bit more citrus notes in terms of taste. So now, in terms of final score, for company history and interestingness, the website itself was very beautifully designed. It was in English, which was excellent, and they did have a good amount of information about the history of Badoit, as well as some company pages for their products. But I would have liked to see an actual dedicated CSR page on their website and a dedicated page about their source. So in terms of company history and interestingness, they get 2.25 out of 2.5 points. In terms of bottle design and materials, this really is one of the most stunning high-end bottles I've ever reviewed on this channel. Materials are excellent overall. Maybe a bit more reinforced cap would have been nice, but color scheme and design is really outstanding. This beautiful modern design with this lovely royal green color they've gone with. It's even better than the green they use in Perrier. Really dark, beautiful green with this lovely high-end cursive pattern in the background. Really stunning bottle. And then as well, it's functional with a nutrition facts table and a mineral table. Excellent. No points to be taken off here. They get a perfect 2.5 out of 2.5 points for bottle design and materials. In terms of taste and nose, the nose is very neutral and not very interesting overall, but the taste is quite nice with that sweetness, saltiness, and then a little bit of chalky bitterness from the carbonating agent as well as the minerals. So really all I can complain about is I would have liked a bit more citrus, sour, and maybe a little bit more bitterness, but overall taste is excellent and really nothing to complain about. So in terms of taste and nose, they get 3.25 out of 4 points. In terms of value, I bought this from a restaurant, so it was a bit more expensive at over $2 for this 330 milliliter bottle, which is very expensive. I'm sure if you buy it in France, it's probably cheaper, but based on the price I paid, it's quite expensive. It is a nice company with a really stunning bottle and a nice taste, but you can get all of those locally here for much cheaper. So in terms of value, I can only give them a quarter out of 1 point. Tallying it all up, they get a very excellent 8.25 out of 10 points. Really, I'm very happy with Badoit It has a really interesting company history behind it, as well as a very beautiful bottle and a nice taste. So really a good complete package. I'm sure if you had better access to it, it would be cheaper. So take my value score with a grain of salt, depending on where you are. But really excellent water overall. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below which waters you'd like me to review next and which foods you'd like me to review on my every other Monday food reviews. And I will see you next Friday. Thank you.